Peyton Place. Starring Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Mia Farrow as Allison Mackenzie, Ryan O'Neill as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Connolly as Norman Harrington.
The tragic death of Anne Howard has overwhelmed the town of Peyton Place and triggered a chain reaction. Elliot Carson, editor of the Clarion and a friend of Anne's, must report the step-by-step details of the official investigation. And John Fowler, Peyton County District Attorney, a man who Elliot Carson once asked to resign, must supervise the official investigation. For Michael Rossi, the truth surrounding Anne Howard's death must be known at all costs.
Hello, Mike. You don't have to wait here. I told you I'd call you as soon as I saw the report. I suppose you're not going in the office today. Oh, yeah. Nice to have a couple of minutes.
Hello, Mr. Carson. Dr. Rossi?
Mr. Fowler, we've been waiting to get a look at the coroner's report. You haven't you?
Coroner's report doesn't become public record until after a case is closed. You know that.
Mr. Fowler, I'm an interested party, and
I know.
well, as a physician...
I understand. I think we can bend the rules this time. But remember, Mr. Carson, it's not official. I don't want to read any quotes from it in tomorrow's newspaper.
Unofficial. I'll give you my word.
Oh, wait here.
We were going to come down here next week, you know, for a marriage license. Well, we were going to come down here earlier, only...
Here it is, Mr. Carson. I've got to take it right back to Mr. Fowler when you finish.
Okay. Mike, listen. Are you sure you want to read this?
Personal effects of Anne Howard Colby, one purse, beige. Contents, $6.40. Identification cards, one compact, one lipstick, keys, comb.
Mike, why put yourself through this?
Body of deceased appears to have fallen from a height of 35 feet. Toxology report negative for alcohol, positive for trace of tranquilizer. External findings, fractured skull, bruise on forehead. Medical report. Her death was immediate, thank God. Mode of death. Wait, but this is wrong.
What do you mean?
No, this is wrong.
Officer?
Got down here, cause of death undetermined. That means it could have been suicide or even accidental. Now, it wasn't an accident, and it wasn't... Look, I want to see Fowler.
I'll ask him.
Wait a minute, Mike.
Well, this is wrong, Elliot. You know it's wrong. Anne was murdered.
You're in no condition to talk to Fowler or anyone else about this.
But this is wrong.
I know it, Mike, and I agree with you. You've got people needing you tonight. They're waiting for you and counting on you. Take care of them. I'll talk to Fowler and find out what's going on. As soon as I do, I'll call you at the office. Trust me, Mike.
All right. All right.
you've come back to pick up your things.
Grandfather, are you ill?
No more than usual. Nor am I hiding under the bedclothes, as you and Betty once accused me of doing. I'm merely a little tired, that's all.
Can I get you something?
Brandy. There's a bottle in the lower part of the cabinet over there. Discreetly concealed from my keepers. I'm going to miss Betty. You know she's not coming back here, don't you? I'd hoped that you and Betty might find your way back together.
It wasn't in the cards.
Well, that's water under the bridge. Thank you. Still, I'm going to miss her. She was a good companion to a surly old misanthrope like myself. I gave her something to sharpen her young claws on. She gave me the illusion, at least, that my mind hadn't slipped altogether into senility. Why, I even taught her how to play chess.
Yes, but I can imagine that sometimes she felt more like a pawn than an opponent.
Huh?
No, she was smart to leave his house, Grandfather. It's the best thing she could do for her marriage.
Assuming that her marriage was the best thing Betty could do for Betty.
She loves Stephen.
Yes, I suppose she does. But I still don't look forward to the prospect. I get spoiled very quickly having young people around me. Never takes long for luxuries to become necessities.
And now it's just you and Hannah.
Just Hannah and I.
Look, Grandfather, does she have to stay in this house with you?
Why are you making this visit? I'm assuming it is a visit. I don't dare hope that you're taking me up on my offer.
I just was worried about you, that's all.
Oh?
Because I don't live here anymore doesn't mean that I'm not concerned about you.
Thank you, Rodney. Oh, Rodney. I know how you feel about my actions. You made it quite clear. But I want you to know, I think you should know, that all the things I've done have been to protect you and your brother. Ever since you were a little boy, I felt a special closeness to you.
Well, you didn't always show it. As a matter of fact, when Norman and I were little, we were convinced you only put up with us because of our mother.
Oh, that's never been true. Rodney, I've never admitted this to anyone. Perhaps not even to myself. But your mother was a disappointment to me, in many ways. She was a very strong-headed girl.
But you loved her.
I did my best for her. I cleaned up after Catherine. I let the world believe she was all the things I wished she were. I knew your mother's flaws. I knew them all too well. But I loved her.
Grandfather, I'm going to take you up on your offer. I'm coming back here to live.
Out of pity?
No, not out of pity. Because I want to. And because I don't want you alone in this house with Hannah Cord.
Why?
Oh, Grandfather, does she have to stay here? I mean, can't you pension off housekeepers?
Decisions are so easy to make when you're young. There are obligations. One can't dismiss Mrs. Cord as a mere housekeeper. You can't pension off a moral obligation. Do you understand that, Rodney?
I suppose so.
I accept your pity. You're doing what you think is right in staying here. So you see, you are a Peyton. We always try to make a principle out of necessity. Even if I wanted to, Rodney, I couldn't fire Mrs. Cord. It's too late.
Thank you.